This program is a co-production of Detroit Public TV and the Henry Ford, sponsored by Target, Xfinity, and USA Network Characters Unite Public Service Campaign.
You're watching live coverage of the National Day of Courage, our celebration of the 100th anniversary of the birth of Rosa Parks. Here coming to you live from the Henry Ford Museum in Dearborn, Michigan. Joining me right now is a very special guest, Sheila Keys, who is the niece of Rosa Parks. Welcome to Dearborn.
Thank you.
So tell me a little about, in your family, what this all sort of meant, not just in 1955, but forward to 2013, to have Rosa Parks as a family member.
Well, what it means to us is a continuation of her legacy through the whole entire McCauley family. And it's just an honor to be here at the Henry Ford, and I'm so glad they invited us.
Right.
But it's just a continuation of her legacy.
Yeah.
So.
And so this is someone you would remember as a child, obviously.
Yes.
Tell me about some of those memories.
Auntie Rosa helped to raise us. There's 13 of us, or there was. One of my oldest brothers passed away in 2008.
And to be clear, your dad was her brother.
Correct.
Okay.
Her only sibling. So my dad and mom, they had 13 children. And my aunt and my grandmother, Leona, and Uncle Parks helped to raise us. So she was a part of our lives up until she passed away in 2005.
Right.
So today is really, really special and really important. We wish that she were here with us, of course, but, you know, she's there with my mom and dad and Uncle Parks and Grandma. So.
Right. So growing up, how often would she tell you about what happened in Montgomery on that bus in December of 1955?
My aunt was very private, and she was intensely private and protective of her family. She did not just boast or speak about what happened on the bus. Never heard her mention it. And I was born in '59.
Okay.
But I never heard her mention it, actually.
Okay.
But she would,
and
if you would ask.
And that's really interesting, because that's just 4 years after it happened. And she was not someone who was going to.
She wasn't boastful, and she didn't do it to for any type of fame. She did it to right or wrong.
Because it was the right thing to do.
Yeah, to right or wrong. And so she didn't talk about it. When she was with us, she was more concerned with we had something to eat, or how we were feeling, how we're doing. If we needed anything, that's the type of relationship.
She was your aunt, not
correct. We had and after my mom died, we had more of a maternal relationship with her, because my mom died at 81.
Okay, and so she sort of stepped into that.
Yeah, she stepped in as a mom.
Do you feel sometimes like the world doesn't know Rosa Parks, the real Rosa Parks, that the Rosa Parks who has become an historical figure is not really the woman who took care of you as her niece?
She's a different woman. Yeah, that's a different woman. I mean, she put on her hats. You have your work hat and you have your at-home hat.
Right.
And she would put on her work hat and go out. She would do her speeches and all that. And then she would, when she was back home, she was at home, she would call and say, "I'm back." If she went on a trip, she was relaxing.
Yeah.
She was reading, drinking tea.
One of the things that comes across in what she did do, and certainly in photographs of her and her later work, is this incredible sense of determination that she had. And I'm wondering if that is something that you feel maybe you've picked up from her, having been so close to her for so long.
I think I have determination. I have like 12 siblings that I had to pull together and bring them out here. I think I'm a pretty determined person. I think
and you got them all to come today.
I got them all together and their children, and that was a feat. But I got them all together, So I think I'm a pretty determined person as well, and I think I did pick that up, from her. If I see something I want, or if I have a goal in mind, I'll go get it.
Right.
And she did teach that.
What about the legacy of that civil rights fight that she sort of helped push along and was such a central part of? Do you feel like that also is a big part of life in your family?
Yes, I do, because I think she did teach us to stand up for things that we saw were injustices, things that we saw, weren't being done properly in
Sure.
society, to speak up, stand up, and hold your ground. She
Right.
did. She did teach us that.
Yeah.
So we do that
Yeah.
quite often.
Right.
Sometimes we get in trouble though, but we do it. So that was one of the things she did teach.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's great to have you here. I'm glad you were able
Thank
to make it and that your
you.
family was able to make it for such a special honor for your aunt.
Thank you so much.